A dangerous wildfire is threatening hundreds of homes in Los Angeles near the world-famous Getty Center. The so-called Getty fire broke out overnight. Strong winds are fueling the spread of the fire, and the Los Angeles Fire Department says at least 400 acres have been burned. Thousands of people are under evacuation orders. It is one of more than a dozen wildfires now burning in California. For the latest on these fires, I want to bring in Chris Martinez. He is in Los Angeles near the Getty fire. Hi, Chris. We can see all that smoke behind you. What is it like where you are right now?
Well, Tanya, we are on the 405 freeway here. The Getty Center is just right up the hill from me, and we've been watching a pretty good flare-up back here where you see the smoke. In fact, a couple of helicopters have been making water drops here just in the past couple of minutes. This is an area that already burned today, but there's a lot of smoldering ground here, and that's the big concern for firefighters, not just here, but also up in these hills, that you might have some of these hot spots that could continue to flare up throughout the day. So we have seen hundreds of firefighters around the area. They are all over the neighborhoods here, trying their best to protect the homes that are around this area and near this fire. A lot of ground here, though, still smoldering, a lot of hot spots that we have seen. And so they're doing their best to put those spots out because they are very fearful that the winds that we have been experiencing here last night and again still today could carry some of the embers from those hot spots up and around into some of the homes of these neighborhoods. We know at least 7 homes have burned so far in this fire. That's the early estimate from the fire crews here that have been in and around the area. We think that number possibly could rise as they get some more assessment crews to see exactly what the damage is. But we do know at this point 10,000 people have been evacuated from this area, Tanya. It's unclear when any of those folks are going to be able to go home.
And Chris, as you mentioned, those high winds that were helping to fuel this fire, when are you hearing that those winds are expected to let up?
So we are under a red flag warning right now here in this area. That is going to expire a little bit later on today. The winds right now are not as bad as they've been, but we still have felt some gusts in this area. And in fact, as we go up to the hills there, where we were in the past maybe half hour or so, where most of those homes are, you definitely are still getting those gusts up there. Now, the good news is those winds are supposed to die down as we get into the evening, and we should have maybe a day or so of some much calmer weather. The bad news is that forecasters believe those Santa Ana winds are going to return to the area sometime probably late on Wednesday into Thursday. So this could be a long week ahead for firefighters. We could see the similar weather conditions that helps fuel this fire return to the area by the end of the week.
Wow, so they have a lot of work to do before Wednesday then. So Chris, you know, there are more than a dozen fires burning in California right now. What more can you tell us about some of the others?
Well, I can tell you one of the largest ones in this area, burning in an area called Santa Clarita. The containment on that one is, I think, around nearly 80% at this hour. That was a fire that destroyed several homes. That's north of Los Angeles. They're getting a handle on that one. The big fire, though, that's the Kincaid fire. That's up in Sonoma County. That's destroyed dozens of structures and homes. It's burned more than 60,000 acres. That one continues to burn and continues to grow. They've lost some containment on that one because they've been experiencing these very strong winds up there too. Those winds in that area also are forecasted to come back throughout the week there. That really is the biggest challenge in the state right now, that large fire there. They are expecting that they will have full containment on that fire, the Kincaid fire, by sometime next week, by the end of next week perhaps. But with the weather forecast they're dealing with in Northern California, that could change that. So that's the big struggle right now. We think based on what we've seen, they're getting a good handle on this Getty fire, but there are still a couple fires in the state that are very challenging for firefighters.
So lots of days ahead of uncertainty for many Californians. Well, Chris Martinez in Los Angeles, we thank you.